Well, the damage and destruction has put millions, of course, across the country on edge, but we're now getting an inside look at just what happened on Capitol Hill Wednesday. 44 News reporter Valerie Lyons spoke with a tri-stater who was actually there and witnessed that whole attack unfold. And Valerie, what did he have to say about his experience?
Well, Brian, the Dubois County native says he wasn't even planning on going to the protest, that it was a last-minute decision. Little did he know he'd witness firsthand one of the most defining days in American modern history.
We were at the Ellipse around 6 a.m. all day, and then we were waiting for the president to talk.
Colby Stafford traveled from his Dubois County home to Washington, D.C. Sunday night. He was among thousands eager to have their voices heard in support of President Trump and in opposition of November's election results.
After the president talked, we just marched down towards the Capitol.
But in an instant, protest turned to chaos.
I'm way back in the crowd. We don't know what's going on, except some people were coming up from the front where all that was happening. I mean, they were getting tear gas or pepper spray or whatever was happening. But yeah, it was pretty wild.
And in all that chaos, one thing weighs heavily for some.
The fact that the protesters stormed through the building is very surprising to a lot of people who've been in the Capitol and people who are around Capitol Hill and official Washington.
Matthew HANKA is an associate professor of political science at USI. He once lived in D.C. and says Capitol Police should have been better prepared.
Washington, D.C. is very heavy in law enforcement. In terms of the number of law enforcement officers per capita, it's huge. And for them not to see this or expect it is very surprising and very disappointing.
But Stafford says while he expected some groups considered to be extreme to show up,
we had been hearing stuff like that the potential hate groups could be in with us. Like before, we were getting sent things like watch out for this and this.
He says he did not expect scenes like this to unfold.
99% of the people there were there just to protest peacefully. It's those small few that ruin it for the rest.
And believes despite what happened,
the whole movement of America First, I believe, has already started, and it's not going to die with Donald Trump.
And while Stafford was nowhere near the Capitol doors early on in the day, he says once the National Guard showed up, he was actually hit by tear gas as they tried to clear everyone away before 6 p.m. curfew was set in. Reporting live in Evansville, Valerie Lyons, 44 News.